Great. Hello, 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 everybody in the room today. We're really super happy to see you. Lots of you are here, and we're glad you've all come today for what is an exciting day. For anybody who wasn't with us yesterday, we actually were in the room when some of us were finding out the news. And yesterday, if you missed it, it's worth going to Facebook Live and watching it again. It was precious, unbelievable. The energy, the joy, the tears, the great conversation. I really recommend it. So hello to everybody who's joining us today. That's hello to everybody on Facebook Live and hello to everybody in the room. So I'm super happy, of course, to be in the room with all the Jubilee Voices folks. Christina, hello, and Arthuretta, Jackie, Harold and Andrea, Ysaye, who's guesting with Jubilee Voices today, Munit, Mesfin, who's guesting with Jubilee Voices, Brandy, hello, Deborah, so now we're on the guest. I think we might have Jim in the room, not sure his video's on at this point. Deborah, hi, great to see you today. And Carol, hello. And Zeta, nice to have a little small person in the room today. And Kathleen with a great sign. Yes, we did. I love it. Thank you so much. And Doug with a great sign. Happy days are here again. I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to speak it. The skies above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. Maybe after we turn Facebook Live off today, we're going to all unmute and sing that. Thank you, Doug. Love it. Dan, hello in Virginia. Glad you're with us today. And Carolyn in Idaho, hello. Judy in Ohio, nice to see you today. And Karen in Arizona, all these states all coming together. I love it. Kathy in Virginia, great to see you today with your Joe Biden masked doll. I absolutely love it. Hello, Bonnie in Idaho. Hello to James, nice to see you today. And hello to Beth, great to see you today in Kentucky. Hello to Marnie in Charlottesville, VA, Pine Woods board member. Glad to have you with us today. Hello to Hindi in Toronto. Glad you're with us today. I know a lot of Canadians were jumping up and down yesterday too. Hello, Mary Eagle in Western North Carolina. There's that Western that makes it very important, especially on a day like today, right? Trish, hello. Glad you're with us today. And Nancy in Washington State, hello. Isabel in Florida, hello. Glad to have you today. And Caroline in the DMV area. Adele, also DMV. Mary Jean Meyer, great to see you today. And I'm not sure if you're in Maine or in the DC area, but we're glad you're with us. Hello, Amy Appleton in the DC area, and Toby in California. Glad you're with us again. You can tell it's a weekend because Toby's here. Hello, Jane. Glad you're here. Martha in Oregon. Lisa in Indiana. Hello. Storm in Massachusetts. Hello. And let's see who else we have. Susan in Seattle. Nice to see you. And lots of folks off video. It's glad. Oh, hi, Sandy. Nice to see you. And hello also to the folks off video. Terry and Jenny, Celia, Catherine, and lots of other folks. So glad you joined. Really glad you're here with us today. And again, hello to everybody on Facebook Live, especially Mary in Omaha and Tiggs in Massachusetts who come in every day on Facebook, and Eileen in New Jersey. Thank you so much, gang. Really glad you're all here. So welcome officially to the Washington Rebels Carpe Diem Daily Antidote of Song in our Singing for Racial Justice Week, otherwise known as our Good News, Good Election News Week, because we are multi-celebrating at this point. It is a time of change in our country, and the voices were heard, and we are just over the moon, speechless in so many different ways about the difference in the way it felt to wake up today than how it felt to wake up yesterday. Anybody with me on that? Because it's a whole new world. It really is. So glad to be in here with all of you. A couple quick announcements. In the chat box, we have my email in case you want to be on our daily email list. We have, let's see, the links to the Season of Reveling in case you want to join us for anything else. And also a donate link in case you're able to help us keep this going. It really is all of you right now keeping this going. So thank you so much. To anybody who's new to us today, please pop your state or your country in the chat. And also, we are here, in case you don't know this, every single day at noon. At this point, past 210 days, 55,000 views, 14 countries, 46 states. And I'm so happy to be in this room with all of you. This is really what has made the pandemic and all of the turmoil manageable for many of us in here, myself included. So today, oh, and I also want to shout out Binta. Thank you so much, Binta, for being here. Binta Kulabali is our new weekday tech person, and you may notice that it is not a weekday, but I roped her into coming anyway to help with the Jubilee Voices, because it is one of those lovely ones where we get to hear from a lot of people. There's a little more tech in the muting and the unmuting. I am so excited to be in the room today with my co-host for the day, Andrea Jones Blackford, who is the director of Jubilee Voices and just such an amazing person and community member at Washington Rebels. And Andrea, I love you, and I can't wait to hear from you instead of me. Woo!
Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? I feel I slept like a baby. Did y'all? So wonderful days are coming, and we have a wonderful song today that speaks how we feel. We know that the first part of this has been done. We've accomplished something. We have made it over the line, but we know this is where the real work begins, and the real work begins with me and you and everybody else. So what we have to do, we have to keep fighting, we have to keep struggling, we have to keep singing, because this is the first step in a new day. To coin a phrase, the best is yet to come. So because we need to start getting singing, I'm going to turn the mic over to Jacqueline Berry, alto extraordinaire of the Jubilee Voices, who's going to teach you this wonderful song, We Shall Not Be Moved.
Good day, everybody. Hello, hello. This song has a slight history, 19th century revival song, which was sung in black and white churches under I Shall Not Be Moved. In the 20th century, it went on to be a labor protest song, changed to We Shall Not Be Moved. And of course, we all know that it became a civil rights anthem, We Shall Not Be Moved. I'm going to sing it all the way through once. Then I'm going to have you all join in the second time, and we're going to keep right on going. So here we go. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. You got it? Okay, we're gonna go. I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna go that next verse, and we're moving on. Here we go. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
Black and white together, we shall not be moved. Black and white together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
Gay and straight together, we shall not be moved. Gay and straight together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
When my burden's heavy, I shall not be moved. When my burden's heavy, I shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. I shall not be moved.
Don't let the world deceive you. We shall not be moved. Don't let the world deceive you. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
Fighting for our children, we shall not be moved. Fighting for our children, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
If my friends forsake me, I shall not be moved. If my friends forsake me, I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved.
Okay, Ysaye, I think you have to unmute yourself. Go. Try again. Ysaye, unmute yourself. We got it. Go ahead.
When the hope is lost, well, we shall not be moved. When all hope is lost, well, we shall not be moved because we're winning with every step and every vote. We shall not be moved.
Young and old together, we shall not be moved.
Jim, you're sort of there. All right, Jackie, I think it's back to you.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. One more time, let's go. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
Woo! Jackie, Harold and Andrea, Arthuretta, Christina, Munit, Ysaye, Brandy, Jim. Am I forgetting anybody? That was just amazing, gang. Thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. Andrea, how would you like to take over and be in charge of the discussion?
Here we go, here we go, here we go. So many feelings this morning. I, at one point, began to lose hope, but you know what? I drew on whatever the ancestors could give me, prayers, thoughts, yoga, asanas, anything, to just try to get through that. Now we're on the other side and we're getting ready to do more work. Anybody want to reflect on what we've just come through? Maybe some of our artists, somebody would like to start a discussion on how we're feeling now and what you think you could do next to help the movement continue. Anyone? Ysaye? Ysaye, could you? Okay.
Ysaye, I can't unmute you without you accepting my unmute request.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, I didn't understand the difference between the two. Okay. Frankly, I slept well last night and I feel relieved. I feel like a whole new tone has just come and spread over the whole country, so that the kinds of anxieties, the kinds of disconcerting energies, I think, have been pulled together, and that we are starting out on a new path. And I'm so grateful for that. I thank the rest of those, my camera, my friends, the people that I know, that I don't know. I'm glad that we were able to come together in this kind of unity and harmony. And I pray that we will do well from this point on.
Anyone else? Yes, Mary.
Are you meaning this Mary?
Yes.
There's more than one Mary often.
Oh, Mary Eagle then.
Yeah, thank you. That's good. I'm going to read to you what I was moved to put. I put it on my Facebook page, but this is what came out of me when I learned that Biden had won the presidency. And this is what came out. Remember this day. Now our work continues in earnest with such a new blessed potential. Work to dig ourselves out of the mire that we, no way around that, created, either mindfully or with our heads stuck firmly in the sand. Work to build, not tear apart with chaos and divisiveness. maybe America will now actually display the imperatives of this time of recognition and acknowledgement, display the courage to face up to our past, our origins, and right the wrongs of the founding of this country. Honor the indigenous peoples who were here before us and still are here. Honor all those peoples who came after the Europeans, all African Americans, all those who came as immigrants and stayed, and have indisputably contributed in every way to the fabric of this country. I am immensely grateful for the opportunity to spend the last chapters of my life working towards the creation of a truly united country, looking forward together.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very powerful. Thank you so much.
That just came. Thank you for letting me share it.
That was beautiful. Is there anybody else that would like to share now?
I would like to say something if possible. Usually I'm silent on these calls, but one of the things that has struck me as very concerning in the months leading up to the election and since we got the results has been a pervasive feeling that people have expressed. It's not coming from me, but that I've heard that people say, you know, I can't wait to not have to read the news every day. I can't wait to relax and, you know, get back to normal life. And that's very concerning for me. I would really, really hope that people continue to tune in and be very, very aware of what's going on and very engaged, because just because Joe Biden is in office doesn't mean that there aren't representatives, you know, in local elections that should not be supported. That doesn't mean that there are causes that should go on, you know, that should not be supported. And so I feel very strongly right now that people should keep the momentum going and be very, very civically engaged, despite the fact that now there is a bit more relief in some ways. So, thank you.
Wonderful. That's a very good observation and something we need to keep in mind. Again, the work continues. To follow on that, I was really impressed with how people really did keep up with the news. Brandy, did you want to say something?
I do. I was very, very jubilant yesterday when Biden and Kamala won. But I think it would be not in our best interest if we pretend that those who were super vocal and super emboldened during Trump's presidency are not around anymore. Like, they still exist. They may not feel as courageous now to speak up in their prejudice and bigotry, but we need to continue to be mindful that they still exist. And we can respond in a way that's opposite of how they responded when Trump became in office. He responded with hate. We can respond with love and try to figure out a way to cross bridges, build coalitions, and bring people under the tent. This is one country. It's very divisive, but we should focus our efforts on not only pushing the agenda of Biden and Kamala and those who felt disempowered and disenfranchised over the last 4 years, but also figure out a way to bridge those gaps so that we can have an America that our children will be happy to live in and that we all feel safe living in. And that's something we can do differently than what happened over the last 4 years.
Yes. Is there anybody else who'd like to share?
I'd like to say a word or two.
Sure.
I think this is a beautiful day when folks are dancing in the streets. I mean, I have lived for a minute and I have never seen people dance. I was on the phone. Next thing I know, my daughter calls me and she says, people in New York are blowing the horns and dancing and partying and screaming. We acting like we've been under oppression. May we learn this lesson that it never happened again. That we permit our country to place someone in position of power that we become afraid of, that now we feel that we have been freed. Now, the reality is that in order for this system we call democracy to work, we must be active in it. And that's not just with those that we see as the supporters of Mr. Trump, but it's also for those that we hold accountable to represent us. They cannot do that job without us holding them accountable as well. So I thank all of the comments that have been made, but most importantly, do not rest because we shall not be moved. That means we have to know on what rock we are standing to not be moved. Those are my 2 words.
Wonderful.
Who's trying to speak?
Is there anybody else who'd like to speak?
Well,
Okay.
I could say.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, after I left the Antidote here, there was an afternoon of live music that was happening, like one of those in front of your house kind of sing-along things. And it was supposed to be songs of solidarity, and we planned this a couple of weeks ago. So I think all of us had like music that we had prepared that was like, hang in there, it's gonna be okay, hold on to your faith. And then yes, like at noon when that result was called, everybody had to change their set list to being like, we're okay-ish, it's gonna be better-ish, I feel relieved. So half of us were doing a cappella songs because we weren't prepared for the joyfulness, and we had prepared at a time when we were all like, oh my god, I don't think we're gonna make it. So that was fun to see people scrambling for new songs, and some of them just didn't have happy songs prepared because they were not feeling happy. But
Right.
definitely echoing Binta, echoing Brandy, there is half the country, well, I mean, a third of it didn't vote, but then there was half of the ones that voted that are still feeling kind of, you know, in their pain and their feelings and in their rage. And I'm trying very hard through all of my social media not to use all of the very funny memes and jokes that are out there about the fraud that lost. So I'm going to be very, very vigilant and very, very disciplined to not poke any fun at anybody is my personal thing, because yes, it's tempting, but no. So that's the special note to self I wanted to share.
It is tempting. And one thing that heartened me was I was watching the news yesterday, and there was a group of Trump supporters, I think this was Philly, and everybody else, and they coexisted and left each other alone, and there was no rancor or any violence. That's something we need to think about. How do we peacefully coexist? The shoe was on the other foot 4 years ago. Remember how we felt, and translate that into thinking this is how these people are feeling. What can we do to keep our resolve, but yet make them feel welcome, because we are one United States, as our president-elect said. Any other feedback?
Well, I have something to say. You know, I may be a singer, but I play a doctor on TV. I am a physician, and I would like to tell everybody that you need to wear your masks, wash your hands, distance yourself, but remember to reach out to your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, and say, how are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Because people are all inside and they're all stressed. And I just wanted to sing a line that I think we all need to have right now. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we are not afraid today. Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't be afraid of politics. Don't be afraid of people. We shall not be moved.
Amen to that, Jackie. Amen to that. I do want to give one last shout out after all that. Some of us are wearing pearls today. I've forgotten mine, but we're doing it in homage to Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, of which our new vice president-elect is a member. The sorority has an illustrious background, as well as the other Divine Nine fraternities and sororities, which were established at historically Black and HBCUs. And if you are a grad or affiliated with an HBCU, raise your hand. Raise your hand, yes. Yay! It's upon the shoulders of ancestors like these that we stand. So I just wanted to give y'all special recognition. Y'all can ski-wee now if you like.
One little ski.
There you go. All right. So with that, does anybody else have anything to say, or should we just launch into another chorus of that wonderful song? All right, let's do it.
Andrea, go for it.
All right. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Come on, one more time. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Oh heck, one more time. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Thank you, everybody. What a wonderful time today. What a wonderful time. Joe?
Thank you, Harold and Andrea. Thank you so much. I would like to also shout out Jim Harkless, who is vigilantly trying to re-enter this room for the whole last 40 minutes that we've been in here, 30 minutes, really having trouble with his Wi-Fi today. Of course, Jim, we missed your voice, but we felt that you were here and we know you'll watch us later. Thanks for trying, and we'll catch you on the next one. So thanks again to Harold and to Andrea. Andrea, thank you for the awesome co-hosting. Absolutely delightful. You may have just gotten yourself a little bit of a new job. Thank you very much. Very much. Yeah, no, just, all right, maybe. All right, Jackie, thank you so much for singing with us. Arthuretta, thank you so much. Christina, Munit, Mesfin, thank you so much for joining Jubilee Voices for the day. And I can't see the other folks who were in the room with us. Andrea, can you call out anybody I'm missing?
Big shout out to Ysaye. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a dream come true for Jubilee Voices. Munit, Dawn and Deborah and Bonnie and Marnie. Hi, Hindi, Trish, Nancy, Isabel, Busy, Binta. Thank you so much. Mary Eagle, thank you. Nancy N, I love your picture. Storm, thanks for joining us yet again. You're a stalwart. Brandy, let's not forget Brandy. Thank you, Brandy, for that lovely song. Martha in Oregon, thank you. Sandra and Sheila. Khadijah is with us. She's another member of Jubilee Voices. Tora, Kathy. Lisa, thank you for joining us. Celia, this is Jackie's sister, is joining us from Philly. Okay, Doug, Cecily, hi. Susan, Mary Jean, Amy, so good to see you. Toby, the person who has iPhone 415, hi. Terry, Natalia, Kathy, LMG, Burgundy. Wait, are you Brandy's sister? That's Brandy's twin sister. Adrian, Arlene, Annette. Thank you for coming and thank you for making this a wonderful, joyous day. Zeta, Toby, Cecily, we got Cecily, Sandra. Is that everybody?
You're pretty close there. So let's also say, let's wave to Tenny and Zeta and Ray Ray. Andre, you couldn't have possibly known that room full of folks. Tenny, can you wave to the camera? We love when small people are singing with us. Thanks, guys, for joining. And I think also Natalia, I'm not sure Natalia is connected to audio. I do also want to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook Live. Thanks so much for being here with us today. And we can't wait to sing with you tomorrow. A huge shout out again to all the Jubilee folks.